Hello and welcome to the first ever podcast of Film Mistreatment. My name is Matt. I'm joined with Dill. We're here at What Pictures and we're here to talk about films and stuff. How you doing?
Hey, yeah, we're feeling good. It's 5 a.m. Cars going by.
There's no... Oh, it's literally as soon as you said that.
I know. No, I heard it come in.
Okay.
You've got the headphones in. I'm still connected to the real world.
Yeah, true. I couldn't even hear it. How you doing?
I'm good, yeah. I'm excited. We've talked through about 40 million different concepts for this podcast.
Which will come eventually.
Exactly,
at some point.
They've all been vaguely metamorphized and they've come out in videos and stuff like that. So we're excited about that. But no, this one we've just thought...
We have an idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Then at the very last moment, we were like, quick, we need a name. Crap.
We forgot to make an actual name for it.
We're really hoping it sounds like that the name came first. And we were like, oh, we've got to do a podcast with a name like that. That's my plan.
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly... yeah, if anyone's listening, ignore the last minute.
Yeah.
That bit wasn't true. But no, it's kind of random. Like, the segments we've doing and stuff is a bit kind of... It's interesting. We've just thought of... Basically, we just like having these... Kind of starts with group chats and stuff, doesn't it? These extended debates where someone starts with something controversial, everybody piles on them, and then you just dig even deeper because you're like, I'm not admitting defeat here. Or at least that's the way I am with these things.
And if it is, that's a great segment into our first segment.
Exactly.
No, segue into our first... I already messed up the first segment.
Oh, come on.
God damn it,
Perfect
son.
segue, other than you couldn't say segue. But anyway, we can use that to segue
into a
segment.
Yeah, I believe you have a hot take for us.
Yeah, so we just thought it's a little bit of a kind of me ripping off the American sports world a bit, but I like the idea of hot takes. I like kind of having a somewhat controversial opinion that you might not even fully believe, but it's just fun to kind of start a conversation going and see.
Yeah.
Because also people are so entrenched in certain things that you ask them to actually justify it, and they're just like, well, because that's what it is. And it's like, well, no. Like, I want to uproot all of that. So yeah, my one for this week is around a guy Matt would be not at all surprised I've gone to him. And it's not even that hot a take, you could argue. But
Can I guess who it's going to be about before you say it? Robert Downey Jr.
No.
Oh.
It's not a mean hot take. It's a positive hot take. This is the thing is Matt knows me, so Matt knows I only really do negative. But I thought I'd break out of my box for this week.
Oh shit!
Try something different. So yeah, it's a positive hot take.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
I'm proud of myself. I'm developing. So what my hot take is the person with the most Oscars for Best Actor in film history. Do you know this?
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis with 3. I think he should have 5. That's my hot take. Is Daniel Day-Lewis doesn't have enough Oscars for Best Actor, even though he's got more than anyone else. And I can evidence this by going to the years.
Okay.
So, in fact, if you want to have a general discussion first, tell me what was your initial reaction? Seemed to be somewhat... You're overplaying him.
I don't know. He's all right.
I think there is an element of people get annoyed by the hype around the whole method stuff, and it's just like, he's still just an actor, so I think that almost makes people turn against him. And I think he spoke about it quite well, because he just says... It's hard to talk about because every time you talk about it, you make it sound more mystical and dramatic, and people think you're being pretentious. When in actual fact, to his mind, it's just how could he justifiably portray someone who can, to use Last of the Mohicans example, someone who can trap and hunt and live for themselves in the woods and stuff, if he himself is a middle class Englishman and he's got zero concept of how to do that. So in that element, I like it. I think people just. There's a bit of an annoying thing that's gone on in recent years in film history, which is what got me thinking about this, which is just a real... Anytime there's any kind of behind-the-scenes stories about, like, Jake Gyllenhaal or Jared Leto or any of these actors kind of... never
going a bit nuts.
Yeah, refusing to acknowledge their own names and, like, not eating for weeks, but you know what I mean? And, like, kind of all, like, Christian Bale-type weight things, there's one thing, but then...
I like the Heath Ledger Joker, like...
diaries and things like that.
Locking himself away thing.
Exactly,
See,
yeah.
My first thing on that is, like, it's their jobs to kind of get into that mindset and be that character. So if you can do that any way that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Day-Lewis has done it enough times now where he's proven himself to get that top notch 3 times, and that's more than anyone else could even ever dream of getting. So it's like, it works, and if you're not crazy about it, it works well.
See,
like, because the whole thing going back to like Jared Leto or Leto, whatever the fuck is that?
I don't
care.
Whatever.
But like him sending like rats to people and use condoms and all that shit, and it's like
you're just trying too hard.
That you're trying too hard because the character wouldn't do that in himself anyway. So you're not actually doing a proper method acting thing.
No, not at all.
You're just doing it for attention and to try and stir stuff in the news. Like, well, maybe he didn't even actually do it, and they're just it was a stunt pulled by PR because people were like, you need to see this film. So maybe it's a bit grey, but I don't know.
I think another good, if controversial example of exactly what we're talking about is with one of the years I think he should have won it. And that's 2002. Okay. So to take you through the nominees for 2002, it was Nicolas Cage for Charlie Kaufman and Donald Kaufman in an adaptation, which is actually a really good film, which we should probably revisit. It's one of the first...
Wait, the film was adaptation?
Yeah, the film was called adaptation.
Seen that film.
Very meta, one of the early kind of ones like that. Michael Caine for The Quiet American Thomas Fowler. Doesn't mean anything to me. Daniel Day-Lewis for William Builder Butcher Cutting in Gangs of New York.
Oh, he was good.
Jack Nicholson as Warren Schmidt in About Schmidt, which I don't think anyone under the age of 30 has seen. and the winner was Adrian Brody for, I'm going to try to say this, Władysław Szpilman. I think I might have nailed that, I think I might have nailed it. Maybe I'm Polish. For The Pianist. And I think that's the definition of, if you remember the kind of, we won't remember, but a lot of the stories around The Pianist was Adrian Brody gave up his New York penthouse flat and he broke up with his girlfriend and he lived penniless for a while, and there was a lot of those in order to play that character.
Method.
Yeah, a lot of those kind of stories because he was a Jewish person and living in like World War II. It's just a film of misery, like 2 hours of pure misery. Then when he wins the award, he grabs Halle Berry, who was presenting it, and kind of kisses her and she swoons and everything, but even thinking about that like 15 years later is a little bit more uncomfortable. But I just think that's a part where that film hasn't aged that well. No one talks about The Pianist. It's like, it would be Schindler's List is pretty much where the line's been drawn for me. I like those kind of Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, there's a lot of classic World War II films, but The Pianist hasn't stuck up there. And I just think objectively in those parts, Bill the Butcher had a lot going on to him. There was a lot of, there was the restrained menace. There was the kind of, that you believed the longevity, that he was the most dangerous person in an entire, chaotic city for, 30 years. And I just, to me, there's no doubt that maybe an argument could be made for Nicolas Cage, actually, but I think, deservedly, Daniel Day-Lewis could have very easily won that award over Adrian Brody. I think Adrian Brody just kind of, that was almost a moment in time where everything came to a head for him with the way the kind of media portrayed the award. I don't know whether there was any kind of campaigning or anything like that, but I don't know if you agree with me. Out of that lot, would you say Daniel Day-Lewis should have won with some foresight? Sorry.
No.
It's also a Roman Polanski's film, The Pianist, which is real problems in itself.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you can't really look at those films with hindsight now.
It's not hindsight, but even say objectively, I would still say he could have very easily won that award. But anyway,
that's why he got nominated.
That's the hot take anyway. But yeah, but objectively, he still stood to be the forerunner, I suppose, is my point, of those names.
See, that's the thing. Parts. We were talking about this with someone else the other day, and Daniel Day-Lewis is consistently coming in with these great performances. Like Brody just seemed to nail it out of the park for it's a career best. So I think that's why he won it, and that's probably why he deserves to win it, because he did do the best role of his life, whereas Daniel Day-Lewis probably didn't.
See, that to me, that's having your extreme ability being held against you. That's so for example, to go to basketball, which I know people isn't helpful for you either, but it's like LeBron James has been the best basketball player since he entered the league 17 years ago. He can't win Most Valuable Player. He can't win the MVP every year because they have to give it to other people who have good years and stuff like that.
To counter that, though.
But he's only won 5. He should have at least 8 or 9,
That's the thing. Going to counter that
against you.
With football and the Ballon d'Or, there's a lot of great players who should have won the Ballon d'Or, but it's just been tossed between Messi and Ronaldo.
Because it's actually voted on by people in the game, in the industry. Oh, we should have said at the beginning, by the way. We totally forgot to set this up. But part of the little conceit of these hot takes between us is just because me and Matt have been friends for 10 years or more. We know each other really, really well. And we want to just see at the end of any games, a lot of the takes are going to be basically just trying to guess whether the other person genuinely believes what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's a little bit of a
I know you definitely
devil's
believe
advocate
this.
case. Yeah, I was going to say this is a poor example because Matt knows I'm like a real Daniel Day-Lewis fan.
If he could have it tattooed onto his penis so every time he got hard, it would go bigger. You'd get the DDL tattoo.
Okay, I'm with you. I couldn't follow that.
What? His whole face?
I mean,
I've got some space on there.
I was going to say I was a DDL bum boy, and then I was like, that's inappropriate. I can't say that. And then I get a penis tattoo. Come at me. But anyway, the next year I was going to say his win is the other year he was nominated, which is 1992.
Okay.
So this is actually a much better lineup for me. This is a harder case to make than the last one, which I'll happily admit, but I still will go for it. The nominees were, in crappy up order, Stephen Rea, who was Fergus in The Crying Game.
Okay.
Then Robert Downey Jr. for Charlie Chaplin as Chaplin.
Oh.
Then Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven. And then Denzel Washington as Malcolm X. The winner was... Am I looking at the right year? Wait, hold up. No, he didn't even get nominated that year. That's why... No, wait, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong year. Right. Do you want to stop this one and start this one again?
No.
Oh, don't do this to me. Oh, God.
I might keep it in.
All right, fine. Not. Right, 93. Let's imagine I can read numbers. The nominees... I was going to say, I wouldn't have made this case if that was the names, because he shouldn't have won. That year I would have gave it to Denzel or Clint. Al Pacino won, by the way, for Scent of a Woman, which is the problem in itself. But, okay, the year I should have been saying... Oh, no, wait, that is the right year. Okay, the next year he was nominated for In the Name of the Father. 92, he wasn't even nominated. He was for the film, which I think he should have beat Al Pacino for Son of a Woman, which is Last of the Mohicans, which is pretty much the first of those whole method stories running around behind the scenes and stuff like that. Okay. But I actually think Last of the Mohicans is a film that's kind of fell under the radar a little bit, especially because I think it was one of those films that had a really good life, whilst people would be flicking TV channels, and it was kind of on cable all the time and things like that, or Sky over here. And cinematically it's really good. It looks great. The cast is kind of interesting, and I think it's one of those films that I'm a little worried it's going to one of the things I think about generally is with streaming services now, like if films and TV shows don't get on Prime, Netflix, Hulu, whatever, there's a lot of is it just going to disappear forever? Because people don't buy DVDs, like it's just going to kind of fall off the zeitgeist. And Last of the Mohicans, I think, is a really kind of underrated film. Scent of a Woman has no lasting impact. It's one of those films a little bit kind of like Rain Man, which is a bit...
Oh, yeah.
At that point, there was kind of a few... You get good actors, like good performances, but kind of middle of the road, quite predictable storylines and kind of concepts that don't really hold that much water nowadays. So, I mean, considering what he kind of did in terms of the role, in terms of not just going from English to American, and not just going from like middle class Englishman to American, but going from English to this kind of very specific subset of American with the skills that very specific subset has, and then to be convincing in the era that he was playing, with the kind of... He had to interact with a lot of different like people like him, and then also interact with people who were like in that era from a totally different background, like Madeline Stowe, and just to be able to like convince and he could keep all of that going, and never... I think at that point there was a certain element of like that he did that, then he did In the Name of the Father, which is like astonishing the next year with Pete Postlethwaite. I think there might have been some kind of fatigue. There's a certain amount of American, why are all these English actors coming over here getting all the best job type elements to it, which has been going on a long time. But I think it's very feasible that you could make the case that he could have 5 Oscars deservedly when no one else even has 3. So basically my point is just I love Daniel Day-Lewis, and anyone who thinks he's overrated is an idiot, because some of the stories around him, I get that they're just kind of media fodder and they just make a good way to publicize. But when you actually watch the kind of content of what he's getting across in his performance and the amount of detail in there, like I'm halfway through Phantom Thread, and again it's the same thing. It's a totally different character, but just it's the details, the very tiny minor things that just make it a very real, specific, weird, but person you can imagine living and kind of being someone special in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my hot take for the week.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight you too much on it. I do think he's a good actor. He's probably one of the best. Yeah.
fair dues. I'll take it. And you obviously
we could do
with this one.
I know that we could do a proper deep dive on like how many he should have and stuff, but this.
I mean, there's also the element which I didn't want to do, which is kind of cheeky. But again, I'll admit I'm biased. I don't have to do the proper work. I didn't want to look at the years he did win, the 3, and be like, should he have won? Because that's I don't even want to do that to myself. So
turns out you should only have 1.
I was gonna say, yeah, just all of those years, someone else put a storming performance down, and I just didn't give him credit. But yeah, I mean that kind of it's arguable whether it's even a hot take, but I thought I'd start with something we could both kind of know about, and kind of a bit of a simpler one rather than. So, for example, my recent hot take, which me and Matt had like a very spirited WhatsApp conversation about, was what was it? Tom Hanks is overrated.
Yeah, you thought Tom Hanks was overrated.
Which I was. That's a certain degree of I do stand by that, and I think after hefty debate, I don't think no doubt has came into my case for that point of view. But that's one where me and Matt were like, we've pretty much already hashed this out. It's one of those debates that it gets a little bit extended away from the original idea, because you're talking about what does overrated mean.
I thought we kept it in.
We kept it very focused. Yeah. But then there's things like what does overrated mean, who we rate him against, what's properly rated. Like
because my point was because he's proven himself so well in the industry, he's maintained a high level of acting and also those accolades, that he can't be overrated because he's proved to get those accolades and that recognition for it. Yeah,
and my point is just that for the position he's at, the very exalted position in Hollywood, and kind of pretty much get anything else made, the least ability has been demonstrated to me in his performances is the most kind of average things. I'll admit there's certain holes I haven't seen, like I've not seen Castaway, and you need a lot of kind of charisma, I guess, to carry a film like Castaway alone. But also, I don't want to start rehashing this because I've forgotten half my points.
Let's not do that.
We already spent way too much time on that.
Yeah, we have. We definitely have.
This wasn't even the main segment. The main segment, the idea of the show, came from... We basically thought of... We have a lot of fun basically chatting and kind of reimagining films with other situations and what could have happened if actors didn't do this film and did other films, and just imagining how the kind of film landscape might have changed. Like, what if Robert Downey Jr. didn't do the first Iron Man? Is the whole Marvel scene totally different? That just came off my head.
Yeah,
but like that's the kind of stuff that every now and again we like to talk about. And I like also just stupid stuff like puns and little joke names and stuff like that.
We've got some great stuff.
We've got some great puns coming up.
But for this first week,
yeah,
we are talking about John Wick and who would be good in that role of John Wick? Like, who would survive?
So yeah, specifically,
who has the best chance of survival?
The end of John Wick 2, when he knows he's got a $50 million bounty in his head, and it seems like 2 out of every 3 people in New York is a secret assassin.
Yeah. How many people are in that film?
No one knows.
Just
no one
ready
knows.
To kill.
Just immediately armed and ready to go. With every different body size and ethnicity, apparently. Like, it's a very diverse world.
With
assassins.
Every weapon they can imagine.
I was going to say,
an earring and a piece of gum.
You've got to give them credit. Assassins definitely do. There's not very much myopic behavior going on. But yeah, like, so we thought what we'll do is we'll take that situation and we'll say you can transplant characters from different films, different universe, anything entirely different. Just who do you think would have the best chance of survival rather than success, I guess?
Yeah. And I've got a few. That I've probably ruled out. Just I don't think they would, but I think they're good for the talk.
Yeah, I've got a
few. And then there's some that I probably would genuinely back for this.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Do you want to hit us off with some of the ones that you're thinking, your Route 1 ones, that the first ones that came to mind that you let go off?
As in, like, that
suggestions that you've not fancied.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So the first one, I feel like it just has to be said. Batman.
Yeah.
Batman. He'd survive that.
I've got
no hands. Yeah. Like, I don't want, because obviously I could just kind of name every other superhero and
I was
like,
going to say,
yeah, they're going to kick. It's not about that. I've tried to kind of stick it more to just genuine, normal people who would be in this situation realistically. But Batman would kill everyone. Yeah. Oh, no, he wouldn't kill. Or maybe the Ben Affleck version would.
Or maybe hopefully the Robert Pattinson one will.
Oh, maybe.
If he's Batman the Murderer, I'm definitely down for that.
Robert
Pattinson. Robert Pattinson. I didn't even realise that. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
Who else have I got? I've got Tommy Conlon from Warrior.
Ooh, I like this.
Just because he's pure rage. And even though, like, I don't think he'd survive properly because everyone else is a trained killer assassin. Yeah. but he'd have a good run.
He was in the military. I know he ran away, but he should still have
he's got good
survivability.
Like he knows how to live on rations and knows where to go when there is nowhere else to go. He's got this pure rage that he could. Mm-hmm. I feel like he could overpower a lot of people.
Do you know, similar to the Rage Point?
I don't know if he'd make 24 hours.
No. Similar to the Rage Point, I considered Tom Hardy in Lawless.
I've just got him written down. Forrest Bondurant. Yeah, literally right underneath.
Again, just pure. Do you know certain characters? It's that you don't see much from them, but you can sense there's just real. They could go mental.
Well, the guy does plus survivability. Can I? I'm going to say a spoiler alert.
I've seen Lawless, but I recall none of it. But okay. Spoiler.
Well, there's a bit where he gets stabbed, and then he gets gutted pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, he didn't get gutted. Sorry, he got his throat slit.
Oh yeah.
And then he holds his own throat closed, walks to the nearest hospital, and gets himself sorted, and he's fine again.
Yeah.
Based off that alone.
Sounds like a Saturday night crew.
Based on that alone.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, I reckon he could do it. He wouldn't survive.
If he was holding his throat, he can't exactly fight
back.
Huh? He wouldn't have been able to fight back the minute he got slashed.
Obviously, you wouldn't get slashed in this.
I had a counter pick if you did go with Batman as well. I literally, when I was thinking through my names, I was like, I've got to pick a superhero as a counter pick, but I'm hoping he doesn't follow through one. But can you guess who
yours would be?
What it would be, who I think could be better than any other superhero that you would name? That you might not necessarily have gone to.
Superman.
No.
Oh.
Because I fuck Superman. He's a cheat code. I went to Ant-Man.
Well, yeah.
Because I was tiny.
He could just make himself. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No one could find him.
Exactly. Ant-Man technically has no issues with this situation.
Yeah.
We're not having that, so sod off Ant-Man. Should have let Edgar Wright direct it. I would have followed through if they did.
I know.
But would have been having it.
Such a great film. I've got one last
one
to
interrupt. Yeah,
of my ruled out ones.
Okay.
Just because I think it'd be a funny meta film if this happened. Sean Bean as himself.
Oh my god.
And he's the ultimate, because obviously he dies in every other film.
That's true.
So just to see him survive everything,
that would be amazing.
Would be hilarious.
Also, that would just rewrite every film with the idea that he could have just fought his way out of it. Imagine Game of Thrones, the end of season 1, if instead he'd have just beat up an entire crowd.
Yeah.
Would have been way better.
Oh, that would be a great series to watch.
I know. But anyway, do you want me to do my kind of ruled out ones?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So my foot off the bat, I kind of did think Route 1 for a minute. So yeah.
I wish I said that for Batman.
Off the bat. I know. You blew it. You blew it.
God damn it.
Route 1. I wish I could come up with a football one now, but I can't. But anyway, I thought just big. So I was thinking Arnie and Predator. And I was thinking fighting skill, and I was Rama and the Raid. Someone like Bruce Lee. Just hope for the best.
Yeah.
But then I thought I'd try and be a bit more tactical on it, because basically it's one man versus a world of assassins. Kind of a few stupider ones, I will admit, kind of led in towards the end.
Yeah.
I'll say my first one, which I think you might find the most interesting, is my pick is Matilda from the film Matilda. I want to remind people, Matilda can do magic.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Magic. Also, she's a little adorable little child, so think about any public situation. Any assassin go up there, everyone around is going to immediately come to the defense of the child. She's
the trout.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't mean to say trout. She's going to be able to trick people into underestimating her. She can play the victim. It's also tiny, so she can hide. Because I was like, Arnie, you can't exactly hide. If you're on a train station with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's the only thing you're seeing. He's bigger than the train. But Matilda, she can stick in a little cubby. Yeah. I think she's also incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
So Keanu's just Gimp running along the road with a dog. She'd actually be making a plan.
With his weird words.
Gimp running.
Consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of children, I just had a great idea.
Oh yeah, go.
Because he wouldn't be anywhere else. Mm-hmm. He'd be home alone.
Oh my god. And he'd have
enough time to prep for everyone.
Can you imagine a world of assassins
Kevin McAllister against every assassin in New York.
In that house. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, imagine if he...
Because he goes
to New York in the second one, doesn't he? What if he had a whole hotel?
What if Donald Trump was an assassin?
What if he lives in the Continental?
Oh my god. Him being mates with, what's he called?
The Concierge.
Exactly. Kevin and the Concierge might be the best.
What a spin-off film.
Also, good band name. Kevin and the Concierges. Actually, I'm on board with that pick.
Back that 100%.
Okay. We're both excited. I still pick Matilda because magic. But
well, yeah.
Also, that film, underrated soundtrack, really well directed by Danny
Matilda?
DeVito. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very odd, but like it's a really nicely directed film.
Because he's also in it as well. He's her dad.
Yeah. Do you want mine now? A bit more of a standard pick. Actually, no. You go. You give us your say.
Yeah, I did actually have Dutch, which is Schwarzenegger's character in Predator.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about
Big Gun.
Well, I was thinking it's actually more meta, as in like who has the most amount of kills in a film.
Oh, I like that.
And Schwarzenegger as an actor is up one of the top, and his only other better performance is someone who can survive the Terminator. I'm not having, this needs to be human.
Yeah.
So fuck Matilda with the magic shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it just with a brain.
No.
I don't even want the magic. It can be steady. It can be steady,
hang.
like domesticated Matilda with Miss Honey.
The only other guy, I've got, in terms of the more screen kills, is Rambo.
This is true.
Because he'd go sick.
But the problem with Stallone is I know this is Rocky, and I'm going to sound really stupid here, but I don't really believe him in hand-to-hand combat. Like, I can believe him with a big gun, and I can believe him as a boxer, but can you see Sylvester Stallone kicking someone convincingly?
I didn't say that he would. I reckon he'd just go around with as many guns as possible.
Shit out of people.
Yeah.
But what about the John Wick logic of you have to reload, bullets are real, like, that world doesn't fit with the whole every single film Stallone's done.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So, to be fair, it's still a kind of good Route 1 pick.
And there's two more that I've got, which are actually from the same film.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't try very hard. No, God.
I've got Ethan Hunt.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
That was my Route 1 pick. That was my boring pick.
Yeah.
Because you've got the team, you've got the resources, you've got the brain, you've got a secret shadowy organization.
Just the fact that he can kind of deal with most stuff as well.
Also, he's a classic film sprinter. And I also thought, by the way, if you want to re-envision
apart from that bit where he broke his leg.
Yeah, that's true. But that's still classic. If you want to re-envision the film, I think it's funnier to imagine it that the whole situation isn't assassins. It's that Tom Cruise tries to leave Scientology. And that's all they said. They put a contract on him. That's my reimagined Ethan Hunt Tom Cruise film. Imagine how good John Wick 2 would be.
Film.
It was just Tom Cruise too. it's just him running from like Leah Remini.
Let's make that trailer. Let's make that trailer.
We'll recut it from real Tom Cruise footage, and we'll just have weird people
just all
in
the
robes.
Mission Impossible films.
Yeah, exactly. We just need some weird Illuminati films that people have made, and we'll just use them for the Scientologists. Anyway, that was a side point. You've gone with Ethan Hunt because
well, you just named all the reasons.
Yeah.
The other person from that is August Walker, who is Henry Cavill.
Oh, okay. He was called August in that.
Apparently, yeah.
No idea. He was kind of shit though. Can't jump out of a plane,
dude. He got his face half melted and carried on going.
The reload in the arms might be the best action movie moment of like possibly ever.
Of the 10th
when I saw him reload his arms
in
the trailer, I was absolutely freaking.
Oh yeah,
that was the most. That was sick. I will give him credit for that. That alone, I think, deserves some place on the list. I'll give you that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just because I've gone with more kind of durability of a character, someone who can kind of like. Because another one I'd put in there is John McClane, even though he's a bit more of an everyman, like not that special. Like just the fact that he can survive stuff is, I think, yeah. So who have you got?
On the most kills kind of line of thinking, I went with just who's accustomed to pure chaos savagery, and one of the first people that came to mind was the Bride. Kill Bill. Yeah. So I was like, also that would just look amazing. Like you combine the direction of like Stahelski and
Tarantino. The neon look with the yellow suit and everything.
I know. It would be, and the yellow in the murky New York. Like how special would that film be? So anyway, that was my first kind of. But
the only thing is though, it'd be shot just purely by looking at her feet.
That's true. I'm really not on board with that side of stuff. Matt knows that's a trigger for me. But anyway,
come on, Tarantino.
Yeah, going less serious. One of the ones that I just thought would be pure entertainment value. Like you were speaking about weapons. This is no weapons. I'm thinking Doug Glatt from Goon, which is a film where Sean William Scott plays the hockey enforcer.
Okay.
Just because I know not that many people may have seen these films, but they're really fun, watchable films. Jay Baruchel's great in them, and he's one of those people that I think as important in this scenario as being able to dish out punishment is being able to take punishment. Yeah. And he's basically. You might not have seen this either, but I'm just going to reference loads of stuff. But John Simpson's episode where Homer's a boxer, and he basically just gets his bell rung until the opponent gets tired and they just collapse. And so the whole concept of the episode is Homer just wins by getting beaten up until he fights their version of Tyson and just gets killed.
Okay.
But my point is that Goon is Sean William Scott, Doug Glatt's taken a lot of punishment in it. He's getting punched in the head, he's getting cut up, he's getting cut with skates, he's getting hit with hockey clubs. So, like, I can see him just going around with a hockey stick, just getting whacked to shit and just, like, absolutely just going pure carnage chaos.
Yeah.
And that would be great entertainment.
Yeah.
And then my last one, because I just kind of got carried away, but again, this is kind of more just for me and you, a real close to home tender pick.
Okay.
Is Nicholas Angel from Hot Fuzz.
Oh,
because I think Nicholas Angel comes.
Oh,
I think he comes as a pair with Nick Frost, and I just think those two. You get the horse, get the shotgun. By the way, they did the horse and the gun thing way before John Wick. Credit where credit's due. Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah,
did that years ago. You've got the ammo as well, which is very handy. Got the shades, vital. And, like, I'm just thinking, again, maybe I'm doing a weird director bash thing, which we hadn't spoke about before.
Yeah.
But when I've considered the two directors I've just put in with the Stahelski of the real film, like, just giving it that extra level in your head is just...
That is a real
It's
nice
really
film
exciting.
I now need to see.
I know. I need to see...
Shall we just make
I need to see
instead?
Edgar Wright just do a Carnage film. Just do The Raid, but Edgar Wright.
I still need to see The Raid. I know.
I made Akil watch it, my little brother. Like a week ago.
Did he enjoy it?
He really liked it, yeah. It's just pure pace. An hour 50 of just violence in one building.
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really well directed. But anyway, yeah, so those are kind of the names I come off. I also considered the Hamsters from G-Force, the Zach Galifianakis film. Because I was like, again, same theory as Ant-Man. But I didn't need to bring that out. That was if I needed a trump card. I was like, I'm going for the hamster.
I've got one more to bring up.
Hit me.
And it's an old obscure film that probably no one's ever seen.
On board.
But I do love this film. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's John Cena. And he plays Detective Danny Fisher. And he's in the film called 12 Rounds.
Ah, okay. I remember that coming out. I remember seeing posters.
And he's opposite Aidan Gillen, who's best known as Littlefinger, and he's also in the
He's been around forever. He's in The Wire. He's great.
Great bad guy in this, and he's just put through so much stuff that I feel like he could keep up with the pace of what John Wick 3 is.
That's a good point.
And yeah, that's probably my final pick for this.
I like that one. I mean, of the ones we've gone through, I mean, we don't have to decide on a right one. It's more just fun just chatting through the names, so I'm not really that bothered.
I'm definitely backing Kevin McAllister.
I like Matilda more than Kevin McAllister because of the context of the film.
What if they joined
They can't
forces?
go to the house. Oh my god. Dream team.
Matilda, Kevin,
who else
both in the Continental with the concierge, taking on the entirety.
And the dog. They get to keep John Wick's dog. And Halle Berry's dogs. And Halle Berry, just because why not have Halle Berry in there?
No,
would be stupid.
I'm still not forgiven her for kidnap.
Oh, come on.
No.
Look, one bad film.
Doesn't matter.
She's Halle Berry.
That's an hour and a half I'll never get back in my life.
She could kidnap me and I'd forgive her. Right, we're not gonna reach a conclusion on that one anyway. But no, I like that. I like that scenario. We're gonna do more in the future that kind of get a little bit more convoluted and complicated. Yeah. And then some of the names also, we're not gonna lie, we're pretty proud of ourselves for. I think they're really clever.
I'm looking forward to putting them in the titles.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for those. But that was kind of the meat of it. Is we just thought we'd have a bit of a chat, kind of come up with one situation and just transplant some of the characters in.
Exactly.
Cool.
So we're going to end the podcast just on a little recommendation.
Yeah.
This is quite a small thing for us, but we just want to keep it light and fresh. I have a recommendation for you.
Go.
It's mainly more for me as well.
Yeah, because this is the point. Is we keep saying to each other, because again, we live together, we're around each other constantly. It's like, oh, I need to watch that film. Oh, you should watch it too. But it's more just like, I need to rewatch it. But we say it so often, and then you sit down to watch a film and spend 2 hours clicking through Netflix and then just give up and get food or go to bed.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be a bit more proactive about that kind of thing, which, will hopefully happen with this, because we're going to have to report back on these films next week.
Which is basically a simple favour from one of us to the other.
Oh, is that the film?
That is the film.
Oh my god. Is that the one with
That's the one with
Michael
Anna Kendrick.
Jordan?
No, it's the one with Anna Kendrick.
Oh, and Blake Lively.
Blake Lively,
I'm on board. He's in.
Happy
Happy boy. Is it on Netflix? I think I've seen that on Netflix recently.
It was, but it's been taken off, I think, so I'm going to have to try and find it.
It might
somewhere
be on Prime. Let me have a quick check. I don't know where my phone is. But yeah, tell us why you want to watch that.
I remember seeing the trailer and it just looked interesting. It had a great kind of mysterious vibe to it.
Oh, so you've not seen it before?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is why I was like, because I was also going to recommend Searching to you.
Yeah.
But I also can't find that on Netflix now.
Mm-hmm.
So
it seems to have disappeared. I did look a couple of weeks ago, but that's one of those films that Matt's been telling me to watch for years, and it's just you sit down to watch a film and your brain goes entirely blank and you can't remember anything.
Yeah.
But I'll just have a quick check for
it's going to be either or. It's going to be A Simple Favor or Searching, whichever one we can find. Yeah, it's one of those two.
Okay.
And that's my recommendation for this week.
Simple Favor is on Netflix still.
I couldn't find it.
Let me have a quick check.
Or maybe I was searching for
Actually,
Searching.
this is just a handy tip for people. There's an app called Just Watch you can get.
Oh, yeah. You showed me this.
You put in a film or a TV show, whatever, and it'll tell you what services it's available on. So it's really useful to stream and where to buy and stuff. Something called Chili. You can rent everything, but I've never heard anyone mention it in human history.
No.
But yeah, it's really handy. So A Simple Favor is on Netflix. We're going to bust
Not
through
that we are being repped by Netflix, but if they ever hear this.
Yeah, exactly. Throw us some money.
Give us a shout.
Yeah. They're sending money enough different people's way.
Exactly.
I don't want that much. giving like 7 figures to random like Portuguese directors.
Just give us 3.
I'll take 3.
Yeah,
any
3.
any 3-figure Netflix. hit us up.
All right.
So yeah, we'll probably try and alternate the hot takes and the recommendations going forward. But yeah, I'm curious to see that one. It's also a little bit more of a, just to be warned, mine are going to be way more.
This was just a nice
exactly, yeah.
One.
Mine
I
are
was
be like
ready for so much.
Going to be from like 1958 with like, you know, we've deliberately avoided the topic that's like absolutely crushing the world right now. But
what thing are you talking about there?
But yeah, people have a lot more time at home. So yeah, watch
true.
some classic films, by the way. Everyone, don't watch crap repeatedly. Go back and watch something good. Watch On the Warfront. Watch There'll Be Blood. Watch something good. Find a good actor and like smash out their filmography.
Shut up about Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, I wasn't even thinking him. I was thinking Brando then. I was getting even more like up my own arse.
Yeah.
But Brando's also a dodgy one because he was just mental for about half his career.
True.
But yeah, like that's the kind of thing to look out for in the future, those kind of films.
Yeah.
There's a load more scenarios come in. We might mix them up. Some of them have more than one character, but you know, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
We'll be doing this, what, about weekly?
I think so. I
Cool.
hope so.
Have we got a day we're going to try and drop it on, or?
This day.
This day. Today, everyone. Be ready for them drop. Like, it's out now anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah. We're in the past.
Exactly. Oh
no.
No.
Maybe everyone's dead by now.
Okay, we'll see you next week. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.